Remember when the Republican Party was the party of fiscal conservatives? In other words, like wanting to balance the budget. Even this year, I think some people probably voted for Donald Trump because they thought that he would curb some of the government spending that was going on. But instead, we've spent $1 trillion in the fastest that any president has ever spent $1 trillion in 10 months of his first year of his term. $1 trillion. Now we know where a lot of that money has gone. We're tearing down part of the White House. We've sent $40 billion to Argentina, whose economy tanked anyway yesterday. Blah, 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 $270 million to Kristi Noem to buy a plane. Lots of ways that we're wasting money, but not only are we not saving money, he's spending it faster than anybody else. He had Pam Bondi write him a check for something like $240 million yesterday because of whatever dementia told him to do. And so, of course, now everybody that's around him just does whatever he says, even though he has completely lost whatever was left of his mind, which makes me wonder, is there some sort of sociopath training that these people have to go through to serve in the present administration? Because Mike Johnson, my God, I don't know if he's always been a total nut job. Anybody watching from Louisiana maybe could tell us, but he just says things, total lies with a straight face, like the reason the Republicans have shut down the government is because it's the Democrats' fault. Okay, how about Tom Homan? Same kind of thing. This is the guy who took money in a bag as a bribe, a paper bag as a bribe. How about Caroline Levitt? That lady is complete, like Stepford Wives, totally batshit crazy. Was that training, or she just was born that way? And how did she wind up in a job, any kind of job? I don't think Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem needed the training. I think they were both already crazy sociopaths before they got into office. Kristi Noem, of course, the one that killed dogs for fun, and Pam Bondi was covering for pedophiles when she was in Florida, and she was the one largely responsible for overseeing, or would have been, for prosecuting Trump and Epstein with the Trumpstein sex ring that was going on there with young girls. Speaking of which, James Comey, who's a Republican in the House from Kentucky, again, is there a sociopath test here? Says that Republicans can't release the Epstein files because they would clear Donald Trump and incriminate Bill Clinton. Don't you think, okay, devil's advocate here, if that were true, wouldn't Fox News be running that like all day, every day? It would be the only story they were talking about. Republicans wouldn't hide the files if they cleared Donald Trump and incriminated Bill Clinton. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Clinton were involved. Equally, I'm not surprised if Donald Trump is involved. But how about you go ahead and release the names of the perpetrators and let the rest of us decide for ourselves how we feel about it. You know what I miss? I miss when the Republicans were fiscal conservatives and wanted to balance the budget, because I'm a big fan of balancing the budget, even though I'm also a big fan of social programs that always come from Democrats, like health care for everyone, and that is the reason that the government is currently shut down. Let's keep our eye on the ball. Get out there and vote. I did vote today. There's my sticker. Here in Dallas, some people were asking me on our ballot here, I didn't vote for any of the constitutional amendments because I don't trust our governor to actually do anything that helps us. I think there's some sort of cronyism involved where he gets money. But I did vote for Garland ISD schools. So that's how I voted. My name's Bill. I'm a college professor in Dallas, Texas. Thanks for watching.